The creator economy is just a fad. What's the ROI of these influencer programs? Hey, it's DJ from Spreadshop. Let's have a conversation today about brand deals. And I'm sharing this for both brands and creators. Recently, Spreadshop's been having a lot of fun with our creator board, and I'm getting asked from a lot of other companies and brands what the ROI of a brand deal is with creators. And how do we even find awesome creators in the first place to work with? And the creators that we work with have been telling us that Spreadshop feels a little bit different than other brands they've worked with because we really seem to care about creators and their careers, which we do. So how do smart brands pick and choose which creators to work with and why, and what mistakes might they make along the way? Spoiler alert, it's not about the vanity metrics or how many subscribers you have, but I'll get into that in a little bit. Stay tuned. And more importantly to us, how can creators out there better position themselves to get bigger brand deals? And you need to know that you don't have to have a huge following to do that. Now, first, I'm going to start from the brand perspective, and this is important for creators to know as well. I can speak from a point of experience here because I've been involved in the past 10 years on teams that were making the decision-making and setting the budgets for these types of programs. And we've quietly tested these waters over the past 10 years, and we can kind of see what works and what doesn't work for brands like ours. My first big tip to brands out there is that you truly have to know the creator economy and how creators think. And you can't do that by just reading some articles and watching some videos here on YouTube. You need to really get to know creators and build real relationships with them. And it doesn't always take a lot of money to do this. Why? You can do it with just some conversation, just like we're having now. It can also help if you have real creators that are working within your company. For example, me. I'm a real creator on the side. I draw comics and I teach other artists how to stay motivated and draw every day. I've been doing that for 27 years, so I kind of know what creators want because I am a creator. Now, over on the brand side of things, there are tons of tools and services out there that get pitched to you constantly. And the people making decisions about those tools might not understand the ground level of the creators and the creator economy. They simply trust the tools that they're using and the people that are selling it to them. The typical mistake that brands make is they think, well, if we spend all this money to get this tool and then we give the money to the influencers, magic will happen. It's that easy, guys. Wrong. In reality, more often than not, when I talk to these other companies, they pay a lot of money for these tools, they pay a lot of money to the influencers, and then nothing. They haven't moved the needle at all. And then what do you think happens? You spent a ton of money for little reward, and now that crap's going to roll uphill to the C-level, maybe the CFO or the finance office. Hi, guys. And then they're not going to believe in creator economy or creator spending. It's going to sound like a fairy tale. Now, I'm not putting the blame on the tools or those services or the creators themselves. It's probably more so on the people at the brand who didn't find a good fit because, you guessed it, they just really didn't understand the creator economy or how creators work or what creators were a good fit for their brand. It was really recently that Patreon, a platform that's really great for creators, seemed to have made this mistake where they paid like millions of dollars to some top influencers or TikTokers, and then they got very little return. And the next part of that article was about the mass layoffs that they had to do because of this. And I believe they kind of had to rework their whole creator partnership strategy because of this. And also, it's just not great PR for your company that's dealing with creators. I saw some criticism that they used the word lighthouse program, and I kind of cringed because we actually had something called a lighthouse program a few years ago, and it didn't work out really either, but we didn't spend millions of dollars on that program, so yay. Had we shared some of that knowledge and our experience back then, maybe we could have helped other brands avoid those same mistakes, which is kind of why I want to share this information now. The second biggest mistake I see brands do, and I hear this from creators and I've seen it myself, is that a brand will just roll up on a creator with a script or something and say, hey, we'll pay you this, say this, put this in your content, put it on your YouTube channel. And this immediately is a red flag for creators, serious creators, because you have a content plan. And also these brands probably don't understand the retention strategy concepts that most creators are dealing with. So to suddenly keep forcing your brand into their channel, it's going to kind of throw off their brand and their mission. So you got to find that perfect fit. And again, this kind of is a red flag to other creators because they can see that your brand doesn't understand how this whole game works. Which goes back to the first mistake. You really have to understand and study this and get to know a lot of creators and have these conversations. And honestly, there are creators out there that'll just take any paycheck and put up anything. And I think this actually hurts all creators because it's going to just be a freight train of bad ROI that's going to make multiple companies say, creator economy and paying creators doesn't work. So creators can do a lot better too in that regard. And we'll get to that in a second. Brands, there are no shortcuts to this. You can't just take a bucket of money, throw it at creators, and expect real long-term results. It's not a real thing. You got to get smarter and you got to do the groundwork. So how does Spreadshop pick and choose a creator to work with? These days, when Spreadshop is looking or talking to a creator to work with, we're looking at way more than vanity metrics. You know, your subscribers and views and all that stuff. And that's mainly because we've made those missteps in the past and we've learned from them, and now we've moved on to a better strategy. Right now, the creator economy is a huge buzz, but we know that there are tons of conversations happening on C-levels, different companies across the board. You can see the news out there. There's companies slashing their entire marketing budgets, their creator relationship programs, pretty much when they should be building them. We know this at Spreadshop because we've been around for about 20 years. We kind of helped build elements of what we call the creator economy now. So you and I know that it's not going anywhere. It's actually taking over. So what do we look for most in creators these days? Number one, authentic creators. They don't have to have a giant audience. They just have to be genuinely enthusiastic about working together towards our common goal. Our common goal isn't just selling merchandise. It's helping creators live a more sustainable creative life and creative career, and not just a 4-year hobby. So we want to see our creators out there engaging with their fans. Do they really understand who their audience is and who they're talking to? We like to say we tend to lean to find the influencers of the influencers, the people that you might be watching to help build your creative career, or maybe even creators that just give you some inspiration that show you that you can do it too. Quick example of this, we love Clueless Bushcraft. He doesn't sell a ton of merch on his own, really. He does okay, but he's such an infectious, positive personality that you can't help but smile and feel good when you're around him or watching his content. And he is genuinely stoked to have his own merchandise and just share it everywhere. And he just naturally can't stop talking about us or how awesome our product or service is. Now, some voices might say, DJ, why are you sponsoring this guy and sending him out to Vid Summit when he's not selling a ton of merch? Well, because it's also helping him on his creator journey. Last year, we actually helped Tom complete his mission of quitting his day job so that he could be a full-time creator. And now his new mission is transitioning from TikTok over to YouTube, and we're helping him do that. So when we put him on the ground at Vid Summit, it's helping him learn about how to build his brand and his infectious enthusiasm for our brand. Tom is out there talking to everyone while he's wearing the little Spreadshop ambassador pin. We don't even ask him to do that. And then he goes back and live streams an update from his hotel room to his TikTok audience, and word really gets around. I'd say that kind of energy and relationship and positivity are almost priceless. Almost priceless. So on another level, we have teaching style ambassadors like Roberto Blake. I think creators can learn a lot from Roberto because he levels up the value that he brings with his brand deals. A quick example there, he just wrote a best-selling book on Amazon about the creator economy. You should check it out. And guess who he mentions 4 times when he's talking about the merchandise pillar? Spreadshop. Now, did he try to get with us beforehand and charge us per sentence? No. And there are other creators that totally would. Trust me, we turned them down in the past. We like to set the stage for longer-term relationships with creators over time instead of the quick one-and-dones. Roberto likes to say that he's inevitable. Because if you're looking for a way to build your YouTube channel or your personal brand or work in the creator economy, you're probably inevitably going to find Roberto Blake popping up somewhere. He's going to seem familiar to you. He's not the most popular teacher out there, but yeah, the dude is inevitable. Look, here he is. And again, he's authentic, and he's not going to use a brand he doesn't trust the quality of. Another good thing is that Roberto was already familiar with our brand. He had used us in the past. So we get to skip right to the good stuff with him. And in many of the cases of the creators that we work with, they've sprung back to us because of bad experiences at other competitors. But there it is again, authenticity matters. We didn't pay Roberto to go to VidCon. He was already there, and he was wearing hats from his own store, and he's just super excited about the quality of his hats. Other creators would ask, man, your hat looks good. Where did you get that? I'm at Spreadshop. It's conversational marketing, and other creators really trust his authority when he says something. And once you know the type of creator that works for your brand, you're able to kind of look at the rest of them and kind of see through the vanity metrics and BS and kind of get down to the core of the character that you want to work with and who you really want to build a business relationship with. And then once you have enough of those types of relationships, you can kind of form sort of like what we did with a creator advisory board, where you can go even deeper with those creators because you've formed a trust with them. And now you can bring them behind the scenes and really take them in, and beyond just a survey board, you can really let them have a decision in the strategy and overall thinking behind your company. Remember, the creators are the ones who are actually running the creator economy, not the brands. Okay, so creators out there that are looking for brand deals, how can you stand out to get more brand deals? Number one, be authentically you. And be sure you're not just phoning in your content. And brands are looking to make sure that you're engaging with your audience. Are you actually replying to the comments? Are you doing more than just selling something or being an influencer for an influencing sake? Number two, be visible. If somebody at a brand searches your name, you should have a presence where the brands are going to find you. Not just on YouTube or social media. Remember, this is a business relationship. So you might consider actually sprucing up your LinkedIn profile. My guess is you're going to get way more value and bigger brand deals on LinkedIn than you are on any of those magical platforms out there. And thing number three is reputation management. Try to be a good person, I guess. If somebody searches you and finds a bunch of drama, they're not going to want to deal with you. Or worse, your ego and controversy might end up sinking you. Just ask Ye. And if you're a ghost out there and no one can find you, that's a problem too. Maybe try thinking about ways that you can get involved in some charities or social good that you really care about authentically. Just something that's serving some greater good beyond your wallet. Look at big creators like MrBeast and Ryan Trahan, not just for their thumbnails and their retention strategies and their giveaways, but look at the amount of good that they're doing with programs like Team Trees and Team Seas and the givebacks that they do. That's something to really aspire to. How does it help you in business? Because brands want to feel good about working with you. And the brands might even help to amplify that good too. See, doesn't that feel good just even talking about that? And like I said before, when Spreadshop's looking at creators that we want to work with, we really appreciate it if you are familiar with our brand, or maybe that you've tried our free platform for making and selling merch. And you can totally do that right now at the link in the description. See what I did there? All kidding aside, if you are a creator out there and you do sign up through that link, by golly, it helps my little team prove that content like this actually adds value to creators like you. And then maybe they'll let me make more. I'm probably going to do it anyways. Subscribe for more and we'll see you soon.